come on up, dear.
Put my
Ladies and
heels on.
gentlemen, Michaela. So we had a whole set of questions, didn't we?
Yeah.
Forget that.
Oh my God. Start again. All right.
So, let's start at the beginning with you. Again, why did you want to do The Apprentice?
Well, I already had businesses within the construction industry, so I thought it's going to be huge exposure. You know, they get 7-8 million viewers a week, so if I can just get a couple of mentions in, then hopefully that'll take off. And for the experience as well, really. I never thought I was going to win. Before I went in, I was saying to my mum and my brother, who's just come in there, I'm like, oh, if I can get to 4 weeks, if I get to 4 weeks, that'll be amazing. 4 weeks on TV, you know, all this exposure. So, yeah, it was more experience and trying to help my other companies progress.
So let's talk about your other companies. Now then, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A footballer.
Yeah, I've read this.
Originally, yeah, I wanted to be a footballer, but it was different in those days, you know. There wasn't really a girls' football team, so I used to play on the boys' school football team, and then I played for women's, better, you know, in the better leagues for women's football, but it was never going to be a career, so then I moved on to being a teacher / counsellor. Started studying religion.
You what?
Yeah. I did religion at uni, and then I only did a year and got bored of it. Religion's really easy to study because there's no real right or wrong. It's just opinion. Like, do you believe in God? Yes or no. Nobody can ever actually prove you wrong. So I thought that's an easy option, and then I give it up.
Right. Okay. Right. Footballer, religious teacher, and construction. What happened?
I don't know. Then my dad was like, "You better get a job." When I dropped out of uni, and I was like, so I had a job at Greg's Pastors, this construction magazine. I was like, oh, well, I'll do the construction one. So I just started working for somebody else, selling advertising into a magazine. I did that for a few years, and I was seeing the money I was pulling in. So after maybe 5 years of doing it, I was the best in the industry. I was getting headhunted from all of the magazines. Everybody wanted me to work from, and I was earning decent money at the time. But I was just like, oh my God, I'm earning you loads of money. Like, why am I lying in somebody else's pocket? And I had my first son. He was 5 months old, and I went into work one day and said to my brother, who's so easily convinced, he's older than me as well, but he's stupid. So I just went into work one day.
Did you say stupid as well?
No, I mean, he's so like, he just does whatever I say. He's 5 years older than me. But I went in, I was all, hey, Lee John, should we start our own company? And he was like, yeah. I was like, should we just leave? He was like, yeah. So we just literally left on the 31st of March and then started our business on the 1st of April. That was it, wasn't it?
That's what you call a supportive brother.
So we just, I just thought, you know, you get to the point and you just think, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it.
Yes.
And my baby was still young, and so he was still at home most of the time with us as well. And so I just thought, if I don't do it though, when am I going to do it? You know, what am I waiting for? There's no point in just keep waiting around for somebody to come and give me something. I may as well just go and try.
Crack on and hope for the best.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And yeah, it panned out. It works. We did all right.
You were brilliant at sales. What made you good at sales? Because I think that is, as Neil was saying, that's one of the problem areas that women have, is because we don't believe in ourselves enough. So sales is one area that women struggle in. So what made you good at it, aside from obviously you've got balls of steel?
Yeah, well, I was only 20 when I started doing it, so I wasn't really necessarily good at sales then, but I just, it was telesales I do, so I don't like really public speaking or face-to-face sales or anything where I can't just hang up or run away. So it was a lot easier because I just did it like as if I was acting. So I had like the work me where I'd be like, oh hi, and you know, you put on this front and this person then. So it was like a different person selling to them to who I was at home. So, and then eventually I just moulded into that person, and then it becomes you. But when I was young, I just kind of channeled my mother, actually, who's very good at sales, and I just acted like my mum, and it seemed to work. And I think I just didn't take any shit. Can I swear?
Yeah.
Is there any shit?
Knock yourself out.
I didn't take any shit because I was selling to the construction industry, so I had a lot of older men saying to me, "You listen to me, young lady." I'd be like, "Nah, see you in a bit. I ain't listening to you. Who you talking to?" You know. So I just get rid of all that and then crack on with the with the ones who was important. And I've noticed a big change. You know, I've been in this industry now 15 years, and you don't get men or anybody speaking to you as bad as what they used to. There are changes happening, and now there's a lot more women in senior positions as well. I noticed, you know, so and women tend to buy off you more as well because it's another woman in construction, you know. So I tend to find it most of the time. I don't even know what your question was. So I just went on myself. But there's an answer.
Why were you good at sales was the question, but that's fine.
Yeah. So that's fine.
I get that. So, but why construction? Why that industry? That was just because of the sales job that you ended up in? So you just stayed?
It was just an accident, and then it progressed from there. So then people, obviously I'm from Bolton, it's only a small town, so then people started hearing we'd done well. People was approaching me asking if we could do marketing for them, or if we could help them in some way, if we could invest. So then I started investing in other companies, and that's how I picked up my other companies. Well, within construction, because a utility connections company I've got, for instance, we could market it. It was a national company, and we could market it nationally with our magazine, with the e-campaigns and things. So it was a natural fit to take me on and have me as an investor. And that, obviously, that's gone from strength to strength. That's actually the better company now. That turns over 3 million last year, I think. So that one just did really well, all just from this bit of marketing that we did as well. And we don't really have to do anything.
Right, stop. We're going to have to go back somewhere. Right, what did you start up with, brother? What exactly was the product? It was a magazine.
Magazine, yeah.
Okay, and it was a construction magazine. Mm-hmm. And so, what's in this magazine? Is it just purely advertising, or is the content?
No. Yeah. So we'll just write about the latest trends. So we have set things coming up for the next quarter. What it's going to be, women in construction, whatever the latest hot topics are. We'll have these set pieces, and then we'll write about major projects. What are going on as well, any upcoming projects, things that have just, plans that have just been granted, so people are aware of it, can go in and tender for it, and then, you know, people just send us stuff as well, a bit of controversy in there, just whatever, just, yeah, anything to do with construction.
Okay, so do you hire in freelancers? Do you just get people to send you stuff, or is there literally just, you know, a team of people literally there working on this magazine?
Yeah, so both. So people will send us in, you know, PR agencies and whatnot will send us in pieces, so we'll pick out the best ones. And then we have journalists, Lee John's the editor, a team of people designing it and whatnot.
And do you just get people on the phone selling the advertising space?
So we'll sell adverts to support a project. So if there was building a new Tesco's, then we'd write an article about that Tesco's, and then our sales reps would sell to the fridge people or window people and anybody who worked on that site and say, talk about the works that you've done, the project's going to be highlighted, get recognition for the works that you've been involved with.
And was this the business that you started, first of all, from leaving your company straight away?
Yeah.
So because you've been quite open and admitted that you've had some failure along the way.
Yeah.
So what failure have you had, and it was that?
So it was that one. So I didn't have a clue, so we were just on the phone bashing. I was getting all the sales and Lee John was writing the articles and we was working from the house, like all I was that godsend. That went on for a while. After maybe 3 months, we'd done whatever it was, maybe about 60 grand. So we opened our first office then.
You did 60 grand in your first 3 months?
Yeah, go from well And so then we started taking people on and progressed it. But me and Legion knew nothing about accounts, nothing about that. I thought it was just something you didn't have to pay at the airport. So it meant nothing to, you know, tax, national insurance. The lot of it, I had no understanding what anything was. So I was getting tips off the local butcher he would like, right, you need a ledger book. I think that's what it was called then. Pay in, pay out, and we was doing that when we remembered. It was just one of them, you know, really stupid. I was only 25, I didn't have a clue. I was doing all this stuff, and then after a couple of years, I got a new accountant, and it was like, this is a shambles. Like, you have messed everything up, and you should have been. We was paying tax contributions, but nowhere near to the extent of the what we was bringing in. So in the end, I think we owed whatever it was, about £450,000. Yeah, it was a lot, and that we built up over the years. So we was trying to get our way out of it. We got it down to about 150,000, and in the end, I was just like, I'm draining. I'm not taking a wage anymore. Everything's gonna. We just couldn't continue, and it's unfortunate. We never took anybody else out with us. We made sure any suppliers, anybody who we owed money to other companies was paid, but we ended up
by the
owing
inland revenue.
the inland revenue. I mean, they've got it back tenfold since, trust me, sir. But we owed them some money, and it was the hardest time of my life, the most difficult thing, because I just felt like a failure. I just thought everything. I was so depressed with it. I just didn't know how I was going to turn it around. I felt like I cannot go back into work now and start another company. Like, I'm ashamed. I should have known about all this, you know. And I was just naive when I started up. You know, I can laugh and joke about it, but I messed up. And on top of that, what upset me so much is I had a lot of staff working for me who were friends and family, and I just thought, if I can't turn this around, then people who I've been friends with for years have left the jobs, trusted in me, and I've let everybody down. So it was awful, the pressure. It was horrendous. But we did turn it around. We started again. We pretty much cleared that off as well. It was still there as a debt, so we did clear it off. But because we shut the company down, we had a much longer period to resolve that. And then we managed to keep everybody in work and carried it on and redeveloped it and pay tax, like all the time, because they don't go where they just come for your house. So yeah, that was tough, but you know, you've just got to remain positive in it. Things happen. It's just stuff happens, doesn't it? You just can't fail.
And is that how you got through it? Because you say, you know, it happened and we had to carry on, but you said there was so much pressure.
Yeah.
But, you know, tell us about how the hell do you deal with that kind of pressure? How does your mental health survive that kind of situation?
Wine. Can you say wine? Lots. I mean, I'd like honestly just
wine.
Drunk
Wine is the
about
answer.
6 months of it. It would just every day I'd get up and I'd be like, fuck's sake, like what is today going to be? There's going to be somewhere. I knew I'd be going into work and there'd be something. It'd be difficult, but if I didn't get up and go and deal with it, then it was just never going to get dealt with. So I just thought I've just got to face it head on, admit what I've done, try and see if there's a way to solve the problem. Every day in business you'll get problems. Like, that was an extreme one, you know. But every day you'll go in and there'll be something else, and there's no point in thinking I can't do this. Every problem pretty much has a solution. Yeah, if you're good at maths, then you'll know that like every problem there is a solution. So it's just a matter of trying to find that, and just as much as you want to elope, then don't, and just
let's get married abroad.
Oh, is that?
You mean emigrate?
I'm married to a rich man. It'd get rid of my problems. Well, you know what I mean? As much as you just want to run away and not deal with anything, that's not the solution. Just have a few glasses of wine at night and then get in work next day and crack on. That's what I did.
Pretty sound advice, that. Coral lives a life by that. So, how did it then go to a success? What happened after that?
Well, I mean, the only issue was we always could have paid them taxes as well, because we was doing well. So we just had the structure in place then. We got a very good accountant. So what I would always say to anybody who's starting up in business now is, if you don't know a particular sector, then make sure you just employ somebody to do it for you. And you might not have abundance of funds at the beginning, but at least seek the advice of somebody who can help you professionally, because there is free advice out there, and I wish I would have been pointed in that direction more, so I could have understood better what I was doing. So now I just employ external companies to do that for me, all my accounts. I still don't really know what's going on. They just say, you owe this much, I just pay it and trust, you know, like they know what they're doing. I just don't understand it, and no business owner can stand there and say, I understand everything, I'm really good, because you're just not. You'll have your thing, what you're good at, do that, and then delegate everything else to other people who are really good at that as well. And then you will have the foundations for hopefully a very successful business.
And what was your next business?
After that?
Yeah, what did you then restart? Because there's been 5.
Yeah, so then I did the utility connections one. That
What's
turns
that?
over 3 million. It's boring. We put gas and electric mains into sites. It's not exciting.
It's boring.
It is. But again, it's just a sales job, so we just have people selling the product, you know, and then going out and we fit gas, water and electric. So I just invested in somebody, so somebody else runs that, and then we just kind of had board meetings now, and we just get advice on accounts, funnily enough, and recruitment and what we should be doing, and marketing and things like this. And then we did a tiling company relatively recently, construction company, and a new company, Reconnect Construction, lead generation website.
So then we go to, why did Michaela apply for The Apprentice? Does it involve wine again?
Yeah, probably most of my life involves wine. I think both my children do as well. I think it would. Well, for the experience, I just thought, in the exposure, I thought this will be amazing. So that's why I applied. Yeah, and I didn't actually think I'd have that stronger chances of getting on, but I guess I don't really have that self-belief when it comes to them sort of things. But
and you applied for it with We Connect Construction in mind.
Yeah.
Which is a database that connects people in construction with tender and business opportunities. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. That's it, perfect.
I tried to simplify it.
Yeah, you mean you've summed that up better than I do. You'll have to write that down so I can learn it. No, it takes me ages saying, oh, it's this. Yeah, that's it.
Tell me about your apprentice journey. What did you like? What did you hate?
I liked Harrison. Well, I hated the boardroom. I didn't speak for 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe.
Really?
Only when they asked me a direct question, I would literally just answer that question in 3 words. I was really, really nervous. Harrison used to give me a pep talk before we went into every boardroom, like, come on, you can do this, Michaela. Come on, Michaela. I'd be like, oh, Harrison, what if he fires me? He's like, come on. I'm like, oh. So that was horrendous for me. I really, really hated it. But the best thing was that genuinely was all of the people that I met on there, because not only was they all good people and we had a great time doing it, but there's been really good connections that they've had, that we've had with each other. So the business opportunities that have come from that have been better than the exposure, actually.
What was your favourite task?
What was my favourite task? Oh, my favourite one was probably the one that was Lizzie's worst, because I was on the other team and we won. And I was a project manager, so I had a bit of a meltdown that morning. I was like, I want to go home, I miss my son. And I was crying to one of the producers. And then we went in and it was an advertising task. And I thought, do you know what, I'll just be project manager, because it'll stop me from thinking about my son. I'll have something to focus on. So I was project manager and I had to pitch, which had swerved it in previous ones and been disciplined off Lord Sugar for it. So I finally faced my fear and did a pitch. I was actually soaking wet through when I come out. Like, literally, I was wet through. I was like, I need to go to the toilet. And like, dry me. It was disgusting. I was like, I can't believe I just pitched in front of these people and I am this wet. It's gross. But I got over it and I was like, right, I felt proud of myself. And then we won as well. So that was probably my best task.
What was the worst?
I don't know. Maybe the dog poo one.
Jeff?
Oh yeah, the other one when I was PM and I was project manager. They made me be project manager. It was like, Michaela, you look after men in construction. Be project manager of the boys. I never worked with any of them before. Robot bloody task. Knew nothing about robots. I'm not a robot, am I? I'm like, what sort of task is this to give me? And then I changed the name of the robot from Jeff to Simon, and
oh yeah,
it's programmed in. And then I'm a bit dyslexic as well, so I spelled all the stuff wrong on the advertising board. I mean, I should have 100% got fired, 100%. But I took Harrison back into the boardroom with me. It's just I can't wait to tell Grayson when he's older, like, I tried to get your dad fired. And I took him back into the boardroom, but we was already like quite good friends then anyway. I took Elliot in, he was right snivelling worm. And no, he was though, wasn't it? He was. And so me and Harrison, it was like, it wasn't discussed before because you can't speak, but it was like, we won't turn on each other, we'll just get him. So that's what we did. And I think in the end, Lord Sugar was like, well, I can't fire either of these two because he obviously must be the problem because we just went in so heavy on him. And then he went, I was like, we are so out of order, it was definitely our two fault. That's when we bonded.
Oh, good. And that's where it all started.
Over a firing.
Okay. So when you see it on TV, it makes it look like it's... How long were you away for? Like, how long did the task last?
We were away for 8 weeks from start to finish. And you got 1 call home a week for 10 minutes. But if you had children, you got 2. But only for 10 minutes, so it's just not enough, really. And the way it works is you do... in a day, task, boardroom, and then task, boardroom, day off.
In a day?
So in 3 days, it'll be task day, boardroom, and then occasionally you'll get a day off there, but also it could just be straight into task, boardroom again, and then another day off.
Yeah, because a little birdie told me that she was making you watch Big Brother on your days off.
I mean, I never even used to watch TV in there because the stuff they would watch. I'm like, are you joking? They're going in like...
Michaela, that was me.
No, I know, but can't watch that stuff on like Love Island. And my brother was actually on the one that was watching. I'm like, I've got away from him. I can't be asked watching him again. And do you know what, like, what's that one you used to always put on as well? Made in Chelsea, was it, something like that? Terry or something. I'm like, I'm not watching this. I want to watch Luther, you know, something great. So I didn't really used to watch telly because of that.
What else? What else could you do on your days off?
Nothing. Literally, sunbed. Sometimes they let you go. Literally, the sunbed was your full day off. A 10 minutes walk away, or a trip to Sainsbury's, or sometimes they'd let the boys go to the gym. That was it. And then they once had to let me go to the hairdressers because I've got extensions in. And they were literally hanging out my head. I'm like, you're going on about continuity. Look at the clipper, mate. Please, for the love of God, take me somewhere. So once we had and they let you boys get your hair cut once as well, didn't they? Because everybody's hair was so long, and they're like, well, it's not continuity because, you know, you have to look the same on the way through it. It's like, nobody looks the same with all bloody hair everywhere. So yeah, that was it. And then you just sit in the back garden. You couldn't even drink. Couldn't drink for 8 weeks.
You can't drink?
Well, once you could have one drink. You know when they return home and you're like, yay. You could have one glass of Prosecco, and me and Sargent this night broke into the production office and nicked loads of wine and bottles of beer and drunk everybody else's Prosecco that was upstairs for their drinks. And they was like, who's drunk all this? And we was hiding in this gym thing with our wine in a mug so they wouldn't know. And it was like, we're going to have to go upstairs now. Like, we've got to go. It's got to that point. And we walked upstairs and they was like, where have you two been? And I was like, well, what it is? And then the producers lived with you. They was like, get to bed now. And the next day was the task when Sargent was project manager and we had to run around London. I had these shoes on actually. We was running around London all day long with a hangover. I was like, this is why they don't let us drink. It was so unproductive. We lost as well, we lost.
That's unfortunate.
So yeah.
How did you find being away from your son?
Yeah, that was the hardest thing. I've never been away from him for so long, and he does go and visit his dad and stuff, but it's more like it was just me and him all the time. We were always together, so leaving him for that length of time was an absolute killer. But then, like my mum, I'd speak to my mum, you know, he'd be at my mum's house sometimes, and she'd be like, it's just a one-off, you're doing this for him, you need to progress your businesses, so like, just stick at it, basically, you know. There was times I was like, I'm just going to go home, like, it's tight on him. It's just,
do you actually think that you ever would have?
There was one day I was really close to it. I was like, I said I just want to go, but it was like in the sticks in the middle of nowhere at some bloody Ford garage. And it was like, you can't yet, like just get through this day and see. And then once you get over the hump of the day, I was all right. But yeah, I think all the women with children, all men as well, but me and Sarah especially, she had a young son as well. He was only 2.5, so it's really difficult. That's why it's nice when you can bond with people in there and you've got that common ground of depression to get you through together.
Talk to us about your firing. How did it happen? Why did it happen?
He said he fired me because I had too many other businesses.
Did you go at the interview stage, or was it a week after?
Yeah.
Because then it's the final, isn't it?
It's the final, and they both
so it was the interviews, but you were the last one to go, weren't you?
Yeah. So Joanne and then Liz, was it you? And then then me, and I was half expecting it anyway, because I just don't think Hard Sugar would want me as a business partner. And like, because I'm very northern and very outspoken and I've got my own mind. Not that James and Sarah don't, but I really perhaps wouldn't be as amicable, is that the word? Do you know what I mean? Is
passive or agreeable.
I think I'd just be like,
gobbing.
I am not
be
doing that. Yeah, I just know what I would want for my business, and I would just be like, I'm not doing that. And I think he kind of knew that as well. Because to say, I'm not going to employ you or hire you, whatever, because you've got too many businesses, and then take on 2 other businesses when he's already got whatever 300, is a little
hypocritical.
Yeah. So, well, that's what he said anyway. So, I mean, it wasn't the worst firing in the world. It could have been like.
No, it was a nice one.
It was a nice firing, and he did say that he'd come on to my lead generation platform when it was up, which is why I emailed him to say it's up now. So, are you going to subscribe? And he was like, I'll give you my contact. So.
So what happened? Because you did end up getting investment. So how did that come about?
I had a couple of offers just through LinkedIn, actually. If you're not on it, then you should go on, because that's where all business happens, apparently. So I went on after the show, and yeah, I had a couple of offers, and just found my best fit. So the business partners I've got something, a similar model in another country. So they had a platform already, they had an idea of what I wanted to do, and obviously the funds to do it. And they was the ones who I felt believed in me the most, perhaps, as well, and really thought that I could put it out there. And they'd watched all The Apprentice, knew a lot about me, so it was just, we just got on, you know, it just felt like a nice fit. So yeah, took them up on that last year, and we launched in October time. I think October time, yeah.
So what does life look like for you now? Like, what is day to day?
Oh, it's just like, it doesn't stop. So get up early, get the kids sorted, because Harrison still lives down south, actually. So he does,
do you?
Yeah, he does half the week down south and half with us. So sort the children out, walk into work, because I've just had a baby, so trying to lose all my weight. And then, yeah, I mainly work on weekend construction, but I have to still run design and build, but they're in the same office. So just have meetings with everybody, make sure everything's running smoothly. Lots of coffee, I've just started drinking it, game changer. So I can stay awake now after the sleepless nights, and then walk another 3 miles back home, sort the kids out, and then, yeah, do a bit more work generally in the evenings as well. I have to do bits of admin stuff. Like, I like to sell all day, you know, do as much sales as I can in the day when everybody's working, do all the admin in the evening, and then see Harrison at the weekend, and we have lovely times, do things like this. I'm going to get drunk after. Yeah.
So you still sell? You will still pick up that phone and sell your heart out?
100%, yeah. Number one, I love selling, but number two, because of The Apprentice, then people answer the phone to me now. So I literally will ring and be like, yeah, it's Michaela off The Apprentice. No shame.
You
I do not give a shit. Honestly, I really don't care. I tell all my staff to do it. I'm like, yeah, say it was The Apprentice, because at first I wasn't doing it and I was really embarrassed about it, and then I thought, like, everybody else is doing it off The Apprentice, and it's then people know who you are, so they feel like more trusted, you know, they trust you more because you're not a faceless telesales rep. So at the bottom of all my emails there's a picture of us lot with Lord Sugar in the middle, do you know, like the official picture, and it just says, yeah, Apprentice candidate. Because, you know, it gets people answer the phone. You do what you can to get people to answer the phone to you, because that's the hardest thing. Then I can sell anything once I get you on the phone.
Once I get you on the phone.
Yeah.
Give me your top tips, because I know as a person in business, I am that person that somebody will say, Coral does it to me all the time, just ring this person, just ring that person. I'll be like, yeah, I'll email them. And I do it all the time, because I will not get on the phone. I hate the phone. I hate talking to people. Hate trying to sell my products. Hate it. How can you pick up the phone and that's
that you can possibly do as well? Like send an email out, because you just won't read it. If somebody emailed me, so I'm a director of a company, if somebody emailed me and tell me something, I'm not reading that. But if somebody rung me up, and now, because obviously I've been doing sales for so long, so I love it. People will ring me and they're dead good at sales. I'm like, mate, I don't want it, but do you want a job? Do you know, like, and it's just, it's the persistence in them getting you on the phone, you know. But as a sales rep, all you have to do is just pick up the phone. Just pick up the phone and just dial the number. And I always say to all of my staff, like, the even worst case scenario, if they're awful to you or horrible, even if you were speaking to Freddy Krueger, all you'd have to do is hang up. They don't know where you are, who you are, what, you know, just hang up the phone. So if you mess it all up, you just hang up, or, well, and I still do this now. If they don't know I was on The Apprentice, I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm still really new. Can I just pop you a note and speak to my manager? You know, if they ask me something tricky, and I'll pop them a note and be like, what the hell? I'm going to say, you know, you just have a little minute to, and you'll be like, oh, right, yeah, my manager said this actually, you know. And so but you've got to get on you've just got to make the call, because emailing no directors would. Well, yeah, no, it's just, it's a bit of a cop-out really as well, isn't it?
How do you get past the gatekeepers and get to the proper people?
I'm just really, they're the worst in the world, the bane of my life, but I also have a gatekeeper in my office as well. It's amazing. So I completely understand it, but it's so difficult as a sales rep. But I'm always just really super polite and really assertive, and then I make sure I'll have a little bit of a conversation with them, so that when they call back, they know who I was and I'm not leaving a bad impression. So, you know, I would try and use it. For me, it's a bit easier, because I'll say, oh, I'm calling ringing this site on Tesco's. So it's they've got that association, they'll know what I'm calling about, so I've gotten in with them. So the calls that I make are a little bit warmer anyway. And then, you know, if they don't put me through all the time and it just keeps happening, then I just try and find another number, to be honest. So I hope I ring on a day when she's off and it's somebody, you know, you might catch her on a good day, you might catch her on a day when she's hungover. So you've just got to keep trying back and hope that if you can have a little bit of a joke with her in between, she's going to remember you in a good manner and give you some tips on how to get through to him.
Do you not think it's about the fear of rejection? Because I know that it's not, people could be horrible to me and I don't care about that. They're horrible to me all the time online. But it's the fear of rejection. I don't know, there's something about I wasn't good enough on that call. I didn't say the right thing. I didn't do this right. How'd you get past that? How'd you get past your own problems in yourself?
I mean, I just don't worry about it. I will never think that's because of something I've done. I think, well, more fool you because you could have just earned loads of money then. So I think I just have the belief in my product. You've got to believe in what you're selling first of all. So I know that what I'm selling is very good and we'll get them working. So if they say no to me, I'm literally shocked at phone. Even though I get like 90 no's a day, I will be like, why? I mean, I heard myself, what I've just said to you. That sounds brilliant. I feel like buying it off myself. What do you mean? No. And then it'll just be like, we've got no budgets. Then I'll be like, all right, well, I'll give you a discount. You know, so I would never be like, okay, no, all right, no, yeah, and see ya. I'd be like, you have said no to me. No, you didn't. Tell me why, you know, and then, so I would never get off the phone and feel like I've not done something that I couldn't have done. You've just got to sell yourself well, sell your product well.
Cool. Anybody, any questions? Come in, I'm on my way. But told to be careful of that step as well. Hang on.
You mentioned just before about Lord Sugar maybe not taking you because you were Northern. Did you feel that you were at a disadvantage because you were Northern?
Initially, yeah, if I'm honest, I did. I mean, he's what's it called? Hired somebody who's Northern now this time. But yeah, I felt really out of my depths actually when I was just going to The Apprentice. Obviously, everybody was lovely who I met there, with the exception of Elliot. But I did think everybody was going to be like him. Do you know, he was a barrister and real like, oh, look at me, I've got matching socks on. You know, that was my impression of what they was going to be like. So I felt really intimidated before I even got there. But then luckily once I got speaking to everybody was quite normal. But I do, and still now in business, I do feel a little bit like we're left out a little bit up north and you kind of the forgotten zone, because everything does happen down south in London. Like all my business now is my company's a national, and everybody wants like construction down south, and they're like, why are you not launching down south? Why is your office not down south? I'm like, because I'm from Bolton. I'm not getting a train to London every day. I'm staying living in Bolton. My office is in Bolton. My date's in Bolton. So I'm like trying to fly the flag for the north. And I think the more that people do this, and the more investment that is coming into the north now, then I think we get taken a bit more. I think the accents, like, people don't take you serious because of it. You just sound a little bit like, we just don't sound quite as clever, do we? But it doesn't mean we're not. Obviously we are.
Anybody else?
Who is the most scariest? Is it Lord Sugar or Claude or Karen?
Karen, probably. Ooh. And that, I think that's because she's a woman, though. You know, I think women who are successful are just a bit more like harsh, a bit more, and because you're a woman yourself as well, you feel a little bit like compared to, you know. Claude's just really nice, just not intimidated at all. He's just such a nice chap. And even Lord Sugar, I think he, because I was literally a nervous wreck in the boardrooms, I was always like shaking, and he knew I was really scared. You know, he'd be like, you need to speak up to me more, and so I think he had a bit of a soft spot for me. So he never actually like went in on me. I never got it as bad as perhaps what Charles and Liz might have done. You know, they got some grillings.
I think that's a fair point, is that the female and the male thing, like you very much worked in male dominated industries. How do you find other females in business? Because I personally feel that the majority, bar pink linkers, I get better received by men. And is that one of the reasons why you're in a male dominated industry? Do you not see the barriers like other people do?
No, I mean, I've got 4 brothers growing up, so and my mum was always like, you've got to have bigger balls than a man to succeed in this world, you know, and really done this into us. But I never really I never think of it as a difference of men and women, I just want to be the best. So it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Like, I want to sell more than you. I want my business to be better than you. I want to achieve more than you. And I just have this competitive nature. So it wouldn't have mattered to me. I wouldn't be more intimidated talking to a man or a woman. But as I said, I do find now in construction, women tend to, there's more women coming through, and I think you get a better response from the women because they like to help each other out. You know, you see each other as like, I guess, the minority in that, and so express a better interest, and you get your own little clique going on. Like, get rid of all the men. Stick together, you know. Girl power.
Whoop.
Hi, I'm from Bolton as well.
Well done.
And I think I've only just graduated, and I find it actually really difficult for the same reasons you. I find that I'm not taken seriously quite a lot. So what are kind of the top tips for when you're doing your startup and getting people to take you more seriously?
I mean, you can't force somebody to take you seriously. They either are going to do or they're not. But if you know what you're talking about, then it doesn't matter if I speak like I do, which is a broad accent, and I'm a woman. It doesn't matter what you are like, what you look like, how you talk or anything. If you are selling your product well and you have got the best product, or you believe you've got the best product, and you understand what you're selling and that comes across well, then that's how that people will take you seriously. If you are taking yourself seriously, if you're going in all like meek and shy, and they're going to just be like, what? No. They won't buy into you. But if you go in and you're like, this is what I've got, this is why it's the best, this is why you should be coming to me, people will be like, oh, yeah, all right, then I'll come to you. So it's just, you know, and it's just about confidence. And if you're not confident, which I'm not really, just pretend you are. And
fake it until you make it.
Yeah.
And your makeup's flawless as well, so.
Yeah, that helps. Look good.
Did you feel under pressure to buy new clothes when you went down? Everybody seems to be really well dressed on The Apprentice.
In The Apprentice? Oh, yeah. Mate, did you see what I was wearing in The Apprentice? It was horrendous. I got slated as well. No, I'm not very good at fashion and whatnot, so I just got like some 3 pencil skirts and 3 shirts and was like, these will be able to mix and match. Because I thought we've only got 20 minutes to get ready in the morning, so there's no way I'm faffing about trying to put stuff together. You know, I'm going to sleep until the last moment, get ready, do your makeup in the car. So no, I don't really care that much. If you see me on a normal day, this is not the look. It's a 3-mile walk to my office, so by the time I'm in, I'm breathing out my ass, it is all over. So no, that doesn't bother me.
Have you got any plans for the future? So are you going to just grow the business you've got, or are you going to start any new businesses?
No, I'm not starting anymore yet. No, I'm dealing with the ones we've got, and then potentially I'm hoping to grow the businesses and maybe sell some. The end goal is you always need an exit goal, you know, unless it's a lifestyle business, which initially my first one was, but now we're looking at how can we expand this and get it saleable so we can get rid of that and concentrate on another one, expand it, sell it, because, you know, I don't want to be doing all this work in another 10 years. I'd like to just have loads of money and be sat on a yacht and that, you know. So yeah, hopefully expanding and selling up, not necessarily starting more.
Within 10 years?
Within 10 years, I'll be sat on a yacht with Richard Branson chilling.
Hang on a minute, what's happened to Harrison?
Yeah, he'll be there as well. Both of us, chilling with Richard Branson there.
Explain more about your lifestyle business that you said. So I'm like a strong believer you can create the business that is like your dream life, the way you want to live your life. And then also like creating that life that you want to live, but then also juggling multiple businesses at the same time. How do you find that?
Well, I made it so the businesses, a lot of them run themselves now. So, like I say, Vantage just totally runs itself. Design and Build, Lead Gen mainly runs. I am in the office, we're all on the same floor. But it's just about building up the expertise within your team and making sure all areas are covered, and you've got, you know, you can trust somebody else to run them businesses for you. So before I went on The Apprentice and started this business, I didn't really have to be in work, did I? Look at him, he's like, you did. I wasn't really in work, so then I was earning a lot of money from the businesses, going on nice holidays, had all this freedom, just doing whatever I wanted, and that's initially all that I wanted, just a cash cow to be able to go on nice holidays. But now, since being on The Apprentice, my dreams have got bigger, shall we say, and now I want more money, so I want to expand these businesses. So I'm back in the office trying to make that happen. So again, I'm working a lot again now. I could just take a step back and be as it was, but it'll never be more than what it was. Do you know what I mean? So I'm throwing myself into it in the hope that I can sell up and get a few million.
And go with Richard Branson.
Like more than one project's going on at once, do you
No,
think?
no, I did originally. I was
Right.
like, this is what I need to do. Don't have all your eggs in one basket. That was my opinion. But now I'm just torn all over the show. People need me at different businesses. If somebody leaves, I have to step into that role until that's filled again. And that is too much. For me right now, I've got a newborn as well, so there's just too much going on.
Yeah.
So I would always say to anybody, just focus on one thing, know what it is, get that to wherever you want it to be, self-sufficient, and then spend the time. Unless, like my other business, Vantage, it's just going to run itself. You're going to have a good director who you can invest in, trust them, and they'll just do their own thing with it. That's fine. But when you are needed in all of them roles, I mean, I've got too much on my plate. I'm just needed in too many places. So no, I wouldn't say, definitely not starting up. Get them stable, people working there, and then look at another project.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Michaela.
Thanks. Cheers.